All right, boys. Roger, I know you know this song. Now, do you know this? This is the Supremes, RJ. Do you know the lead singer? Come on, you can do it. You sit right there. I was gonna let you guess. Yes,
Diana Ross.
Yes.
Hey!
Diana Ross.
Hey!
Let me. Obviously, one of the greatest of all time. Now, RJ, she's having a birthday today, and I want to ask our guests. I'm going to ask Phil Elson, Rex Nelson. I'm going to ask Morris Williams and Bev Eckert. How old do you think Diana Ross turns today? Start with Phil.
I think Diana Ross is probably 74.
Rex Nelson.
I'm going to go with the under here. Let's say 71.
Bev.
I'm going to go for 70.
70 is correct. We don't even have to ask Morris. Exactly.
Wow.
What you think of the birthdays today, guys? Diana Ross 70, Steven Tyler. I didn't get his birthday. I'll get that later. Yesterday, Aretha Franklin and Elton John. Aretha Franklin and Diana Ross have back-to-back birthdays. Two of the legends in the music business. Like as I mentioned, we have the Elson Nelson show today. Rex Nelson and Phil Nelson. So great to have them, Bob.
Phil Nelson, not Phil Nelson.
I just changed him. I said Nelson.
You related us.
Phil, I did. I connected Phil Elson and Rex Nelson.
I can't wait to use that all football season. Welcome back to the Ready Broadcast with Phil Nelson.
I'm going to go to Rex Elson now.
Rex Elson. I mentioned we got Bev Eckert and Morris Williams, and they're in town. They're in the studio promoting an event coming up. You know, one thing Tommy always talks about is promoting prostate awareness, and you guys are doing that. Bev is executive director of the Prostate Cancer Foundation here in town. I met you at an event last year, and you guys got another event coming up?
Yes, we do. We have an exciting event coming up this weekend with the Omega Psi-Phi fraternity here in Little Rock, and I'm going to let Morris tell you a little bit about the event.
Now, the Omega Psi-Phi.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and get closer. Now, you know, I'm not very good on fraternities. I know the Omega Psi-Phi.
No, it was sororities that he was on.
Yes, I was. Sororities was not. When I was in college, I knew some of the fraternities, and I want to say is Corliss Williamson an Omega Psi-Phi?
Absolutely.
I thought he was, and I remember the Omega Psi-Phis when I was at Arkansas. Now that's not the fraternity that has the branding, or is it?
Well, there are a lot of fraternities that have branding, but yes, we do have branding. It's not mandatory. Let me make that clear.
Because I'm going to tell you, some of my teammates had some of those brandings, and I'm like, man, that looks painful. Now, RJ, I'm going to tell you, that's a fraternity pledge that you have to make a commitment to.
I never did the fraternity thing.
So obviously you're not in school still anymore, Morris. You're an alumni member of Omega Psi-Phi, right?
Yes.
And
I'm a member of the local chapter, which is Pi Omicron chapter. Of course, there are two chapters in the city of Little Rock, Pi Omicron chapter and Omicron Lambda. And
Lambda. I don't know anything about that, but it sounds fun.
Sounds
Lambda.
right
Yes. So, and so what do you guys? So you guys decided that this is an important cause, and we need to jump in it.
Yes. Several years ago, we were doing some brainstorming, and one of our members, of course, we were thinking about doing something with the Prostate Cancer Foundation.
Right.
And in one of our meetings, we decided that one of our brothers, Charles Todd, said, we need to try to have a 5K to bring awareness to prostate cancer. So we contacted the foundation, and this is our third annual.
Okay.
So it's something that we feel very passionate about, and we really appreciate the opportunity to partner with the Prostate Cancer Foundation.
And where are you running at? Where's the race at?
It's going to be at the Big Dam Bridge. It's Saturday, March 28th. Race time is at 8 o'clock sharp. It's a 5K. Over and back.
Now, of the people in this studio, Roger, RJ, Rex, and Phil, I want you to guess which one of us, if any of us, have run in a 5K before.
Ask Basil as well.
No, I'm including that. Which do you think of all the five of us have run in a 5K before? Because I don't know the answer. We're gonna find out. I just want to see what you. Looking around at us.
I think you have, being a former athlete.
Okay, you think I have? What do you think, Bev? Anybody else you see here that would run a 5K? Anybody else?
I think Rex.
Rex! Rex!
If there were a buffet line at the end.
So, Rex, let's go around the room. Rex, have you ever run in a 5K?
No, I have not.
Phil Elson.
I haven't run 5K in 50 years.
I thought maybe Phil had. This is when I know RJ has.
I've run 3.
I think I've run 2.
Well, and he was tripped by the little Mexican.
Yes, I remember
There
that.
was a Hispanic boy that tripped me on university.
Supposedly. Supposedly.
We've never found that kid.
Yeah. It was like Zapruder.
Now, this is the one I'm interested in.
So Bill Vickery did finish in front of you. Right. Let me confirm that race.
Yes, and that, we were talking about that this morning. Something that haunts you that you've lost.
Yes. You lost the race.
Losing that race and having Bill Vickery to this day still talk about it, that's what haunts me.
We played that race up for what, 6 months?
Yes.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
I was there for that. I actually
Yes.
was going to take a picture of y'all crossing the
Yes.
line together, and you never were there.
I got hauled in on the can't finish card.
Now here's the one I'm interested in. I looked to Roger Scott.
Yeah.
And listen. Okay, do we think that he's running a 5K or
you
no?
think
What do you
I
say?
have?
I think Roger's run
I
one.
say no. What do you say?
I think
Rex?
because Roger.
I think ever since he's made the
It's a
turn in
trick
life, I
question.
think there has been a 5K.
I think
It's a trick
Rex,
question.
I think yes.
I say no. What is it?
I say he has because the sponsor has offered to give him something for free if he would do this.
Yes, I have, but not all at the same time.
What does that mean?
All together. You put all my running
So you have not, okay.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Half a K at a time,
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's at the Big Dam Bridge. Now, I will say this: if you have not looked around, Tommy's not a big proponent of the Big Dam Bridge. He's not a big fan. He doesn't. Although he doesn't spend enough time.
changed a lot.
I think he has. I think Roger sees a value from a walking standpoint. But tying that in with the other bridges, I think, have you seen, because the Big Dam Bridge was the first bridge that had colors on it, I believe. Had
That is
lights on it.
correct.
Had lights on it. Well, now,
Pretty lights.
at the baseball game the other day, all the downtown bridges were red because of the Razorbacks, right?
That's right. And Entergy is the one that kind of puts that on. And when they rebuild the Broadway Bridge, whenever it opens, if it's 3 or 4 years, I think they're going to have the dancing disco lights on that too.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I don't. What is the color? I think the one on the Big Dam Bridge is several colors too,
They
right?
can
Like
change them.
rainbow
Yeah,
colors.
they
Yeah.
can change them.
And you know the one I have not been on. I haven't been on the bridge on the other
The
side.
Two Rivers Bridge, it's a nice.
Have you
road.
guys done that?
Oh yeah.
That's fun because that takes you over to the former island of Nizzle, and where Nate Christian camped out for
are you
for a
serious?
week.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it used to be called when Nate actually camped out
Roger,
there when Raise the Back
you
Basketball
were there.
was still a
Were
good
you?
coach.
So that was where he camped out on that island?
Yeah.
exactly
Is it
right.
really called Izzle?
That's
No,
what it was named. He
Oh, he
put
just
a
came up
flag
with that.
there. He put a flag and it became that.
It is Two Rivers Park, and it was just a historic note. It was the old Pulaski County penal farm.
Are you serious?
When counties would have
You're
convicts
kidding me.
working
I've
land.
never heard that.
That was the Pulaski County penal farm, and they raised crops out there.
so it was Arkansas's version of Alcatraz in a sense.
Yes, absolutely it was.
That's remarkable. So where does the race start at the Big Dam? Because did it start on the Little Rock side?
It's going to be on Little Rock side, yes. There's pavilions 1 and 2 right at Murray when you drive in. We'll have a starting and finish line right there, right past those pavilions. They're going to go over, across, and then we have a turnaround point on the other side of the river. And turn around and come back.
And for those who don't feel like they can run it, they can certainly walk it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's, of course, Epic is a big partner with ours
Yeah.
at promoting prostate awareness,
Love
and we
Epic.
try to do a good job. And have you guys had your test, Rex?
I was
Bill?
about to ask. I mean, I'm 38.
You
I'm
need to
getting
do it.
to the point now. In a couple of years, I'm
You're
probably going to
very
need to start
close.
getting that test, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
A couple of more years, you need to get a baseline for sure.
Rex, are you pretty good at getting your annual checkup?
Yes, I have an annual physical. I'm 55 though.
No,
so
Basil
I've been
got
doing
his
that
for the
for a while.
first time this year. And,
No, I've always had the PSA. I've just never had the.
Did you? For the colonoscopy.
Have you had a
I've
colonoscopy?
I've had that.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Colonoscopy.
Yeah, well, that's
HD.
fancy talk. Yeah, well, how are things? Everything good with the foundation, Bev?
Going extremely well. Just really working on doing awareness, screening, and education all over the state.
I would think, back in the day, 20 years ago, nobody liked talking about it, and now, it's the topic that the guys are certainly a little bit more open to hearing and going and getting tested on. It's not like a secret hush hush kind of thing to say.
And that's a wonderful development. But
Absolutely.
we've got a ways to go yet. with that.
They've done great work. I used to work with Prostate Cancer Foundation over at the Travelers, and they've been a partner of the Travs for years and years, just trying to get the word out. And that's what
Yes.
it's about. It's about awareness and letting people know this is something important for your health.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you being up. I did want to share this with you, and I'm glad we got Phil and the Elston Nelson group in here today, because I mentioned this Roger and RJ the other day. Who is the greatest coach in the history of Arkansas? Who would you think?
like that coached at the University of Arkansas?
High school or college? What would you say, Rex? Off the top of your head.
If you said that coached in Arkansas, as far as effective on the entire
As far as the
state?
most successful.
Jimmy Red Parker?
Oh, okay. The
Okay.
most wins.
Or maybe just the one who had the biggest impact, the most significant.
Coach Broyles would have the most
I mean,
impact.
are you doing it just as a coach that no matter what
There's not,
level?
there's not a wrong answer. Just when you think of the greatest coaches in Arkansas, what are you, high school or
Coach
college?
Broyles would be first.
Yeah.
I would think the same.
Yeah.
Roger,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you gotta start.
You ever heard of a guy named Earl Quigley?
Yes.
Absolutely. Quigley
Quigley
Stadium.
Stadium. I ran across this the other day. He was born in 1891 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, but he came in 1914 to Little Rock as an assistant coach at what was in Little Rock High School. He took over head coaching duties in 1916. He ended up 135, 52 and 9, won 5 state championships. He ended up playing teams all over the country. He beat Russellville, his team in 1919. Listen to this. Beat Russellville 174 to nothing in football, which is obviously the record.
Will do what?
Yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable. His
Boy,
basketball.
Rex Nelson would be out of voice by that end of that game.
174 nothing. His basketball teams won over 75% of their games. He captured 6 basketball titles in 1915. His baseball teams went 207 and 37. That's an 84% clip. State championships 9 times. His Tigers track team won 18 consecutive state
I
titles.
think he gets the award.
He held every state meet. He won every state meet during his 30-year helm, except for World War II, where they had to stop. He was in the, believe it or not, Ripley's, believe it or not, when they won 50 consecutive meets, 15 years without a loss.
Not only would I be out of voice after 174, RJ, but Phil, can you imagine how long the post-game show would last once you played all the scoring highlights?
And you already do about a 2-hour postgame show, right? So that might last a little longer.
I've always heard of Quigley Stadium, and I never heard of. And that poor guy. Listen, nobody talks about him.
How many years was he?
That was, I think it was 30, 40 years. It was,
Wow.
but he got here in 1915. But I always heard of Quigley Field, and I never really.
Never knew.
All right. A little history that Phil knows for you, David. Where Quigley Stadium sits was the original home of the Arkansas Travelers. It was first West End Park, and then it was named after a Judge Kavanaugh, who had been president of the Southern Association. It became Kavanaugh Field. And when the Travelers built what would become Raywinder Field, they gave it to Little Rock High School, and it later became Quigley Stadium.
Very cool.
Now you know the rest.
I noticed in here as well. And I never knew this. In 1930, Little Rock Central became one of the first high schools in the state to play at night under floodlights.
Yep.
I've never heard that. I thought that War Memorial, the lights with Broyles, was in the 60s?
1930s, before the first Major League night game.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Again, where can people get information, Bev and Morris, about the race?
Okay, you can go to the website. The website is Omegas, OMAGAS, the number 4, PCA .org. The online registration will be closed tomorrow around 2 o'clock, so please try to meet that deadline. The registration fee is $25 before the day of the race. The day of the race is going to be $30 for adults. For children 14 and under, it's going to be $15 if you do it before the shut-off date, and it's going to be $20 the day of the race.
That's a lot of information. So the easiest way, if the people listening in the car, they can call the Prostate Cancer Foundation, right?
Absolutely. And you can call us at 379-8027. 379-8027.
We're doing great work, and good luck in the race. Hope you have a big turnout. Appreciate what you're doing. It's great that guys know more about and have more prostate awareness.
Thanks for having us.
All right,
you
Morris and
very
Beth, thank you very much. 9:20 on the show with no name.